Hey guys, Jeff Beggins here with
Mike Puma.
And as we're going into the holidays, there's way too many warm and fluffy messages full of BS. And so we're here to kind of call it out the way it really is nobody really gives a crap.
That's it.
Right?
There it is.
Nobody cares. And
put that on a greeting card.
Everybody's irrelevant. And every thought, people really don't care about what you're doing. So
they'll have opinions on it.
Yeah, but
they don't matter.
They don't matter. So nothing matters. So I want to dig in that for a second because everyone is doing their 2020 goals and figuring out what they're going to do, and the holidays are wrapping, and the new year's going to start, and they're coming up with what they're going to do, and how many appointments do I need, and how many listing appointments, how many numbers I'm going to do, and it's all BS-y crap, right? And it really, really is because in essence, nobody gives a crap. And what do I mean by that? Because it's a tough topic to hear about because a lot of you are in this business because somebody said you should get into this business. Somebody said you'd be good in it. Somebody said you should do it. Somebody's paid for your license. You decided that it might be a good idea. And there's some outside external force that said you should do this.
Yeah.
Right? And those are the people that fail.
Yep.
Most of the time.
Well, because they're doing it for somebody else, not because they really wanted to.
Yep.
Now, if they get into it and figure out, you know what, I really do love it, and they really love it, then it becomes for them, then everything changes. Yep. But the reality is so many of us, in almost every aspect of life, do things for someone else because either they think they care about that thing or they've heard that they care about that thing. Do you know, I still firmly believe this, that the reason that most Americans struggle with their weight and weight loss is because they are not losing weight because they want to lose weight. They're trying to lose weight because they think that other people will look at them differently, whether it's their spouse, friends, strangers, they're dating, doesn't matter. They think the other people want them to lose weight. Right? And the second that you start doing something for somebody else based on someone else's opinion, you're done. It's over. Because they don't care. Yep. They really don't. They really don't care. They may say they care, but your success or failure has zero impact on them, and their opinion of you has zero impact on you. So it's this game that goes, this vicious cycle.
It's funny. I was talking with Matthew Ferry the other day, and we were chatting about a couple things, and the one-liners are great. Like, first of all, nothing in your life needs to change in order for you to be happy.
No.
Right? Let me restate that. Absolutely nothing has to change in your life in order to be happy, because anything that you claim is not making you happy is just BS label that you've given to it because it's irrelevant. It's not really even occurring, right? But nothing needs to change in order to be happy, and nobody really gives a crap about what you're doing. So what are we going to actually do? So as we're going into this one, I look at business planning or 2020s or things a little bit differently than some people. You know, of course, I do my prophecy letter, and I got my goal for what I want my 2020 year to be, but I really chunk it down. You know how we always go quarter by quarter, and there's 13 weeks in Q1. And so I like to chunk down and say, what am I capable of in the 13-week time period? Yep. And I really don't care what anybody else thinks because nobody else cares.
Right.
Ultimately, it's a personal battle. Like, what am I gonna? I wonder if I could do this in the next 13 weeks. Let me find out. I'm happy today. I love everything the way that it is. I accept everything the way it is right now. I don't necessarily like all the things that are happening right now, but I accept them, and I'm happy with that. Right? Yep. I accept it. So now, with that aside, now it's my personal challenge. See, what can I do over the next 13 weeks? And if you don't like it, or nobody likes it, I don't care.
But that's the reason that you will accomplish it. I think for most people, the reason they don't accomplish it is because they'll come up with that, and then their coach, their spouse, their friend, doesn't matter, anyone else will see that and be like, dude, you can't do that. That's stupid. You don't need to do that. Right? And that outside opinion, while it has zero bearing, and while that individual is saying it really doesn't give a shit whether you hit it or not, that comment, that negativity is enough to derail 99.9% of people, because as soon as they see that, it starts to fester, and then eventually you start to believe, shit, I can't do it. You're right. And then you don't end up not doing it.
And then you start to figure out, well, why do I really need it anyway? You start to have
you
the doubt, fear, and anxiety.
You start justifying reasons to not do it. Oh, it's too much work, and it's going to be too much time away from the baby, and you start justifying the reasons to not do it.
That's right. So as you roll into 2020, right now, what I want you to really get clear on is forget everybody else. 100% delete everybody else. Everybody else. And I need you to, I don't care, delete your spouses, delete your friends, your parents at this moment in time, and just think about you, okay? And everything that's going on in your world right now is perfect the way it is. It's supposed to be happening the way that it is, so don't even worry about it. Just deal with it and accept it. Now, what is your personal challenge, right, for the next 13 weeks of a next level lifestyle for you? Forget everybody else. Forget about anybody else's influence. Anybody else's thought, anybody else's idea is completely irrelevant because they just don't matter, right? And I say it in the most loving way that I can. I need you to be completely selfish for a second. 13 weeks. What do you want to accomplish? By the end of March, right, what have you done? Like we were talking before, if you say, I want to go down to Key West, right, and we're in Tampa right now, you better go south.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a lot of successful checkpoints between here and Key West when you got to stop for gas and to pee and whatever you want to do along the way. Right? It's progressive realization of your goal, but you don't need to have anybody else influencing that at all. So when you start figuring out what is your perfect Q1, and don't take pressure that it needs to be 2 or 4 or 10 or 16 deals, because it doesn't. Right? Maybe your perfect Q1 is to not do shit. Mm-hmm. Right? It's to maybe do one deal. Right. Or it's to full throttle down and see if you can pop down 10. Right? But it's got to be yours, not what your coach said, not what your manager said, not what your broker said, not what your spouse said. Because when you do it for somebody else, you're never going to do it. And if you do it, you're going to be miserable.
What you think they want. Right?
That's right.
It can't, even if they haven't said it, you can't be like, oh, Jeff really wants everyone doing a deal a month, so that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
No, it's not going to work.
It will implode on you if that's the reason.
100%. You'll start it, and the second you hit a speed bump, you will stop because it's not yours.
It's not yours. So it's time to be selfish, right? And I need you to write down, you know what the average transaction means to you. Your average check is $5, $6 grand, $10 grand. I don't know whatever market you're in right now, but let's say it's $5 grand. So, and I will go put money because it's an easy benchmark to say and say, all right, do I need money? Like, do I need income to either sustain or grow my lifestyle? And if the answer is no, then go volunteer at the library and stop pretending to be in this business, right? You don't need to do it. If the answer is I need income to sustain or grow, then go get income. And then be honest with yourself and say, look, I really hate these segments of this business, then park them. Yep. And say, I don't mind this segment, and forget about everybody else. Say, I'm going to just work on this one segment over the next 13 weeks because I only need 10 grand, so I need 2 deals. So now we just kind of hang out, doing the stuff you like to go do, and find 2 deals. That's it, and for nobody else but yourself. And if maybe your income goals are more than 10 grand, it's 30 grand, then go do.
But establishing that end goal of what ultimately you do want to have happen is very important, because the tactics and way you go about getting it greatly is variable based on that end goal.
And we're gonna lower the bar too for this Q1, and we're gonna be realistic, and we're gonna only do our low hanging fruit. Right? Now, if you are from your market and you live in that market and you know a bunch of people and you got a great following on Instagram and Facebook and you're building one on TikTok, you got connections on LinkedIn. That might be all you need to do, guys. And low-hanging fruit, comment, connect, post, do your little thing, and do 2 or 3 deals. Stop freaking out to try to put pressure on yourself to satisfy somebody else's false, pressing ideas into your own brain. So the people that are doing well, and I'll say by doing well, happy, the people that are happy are doing stuff because they just want to do it.
Right.
Right? And if things don't happen, whatever, no big deal. Right? So as you're planning, really be clear on this, guys. What does your Q1 look like? when you're sitting on March 31st, what have you booked in business? I don't care if it closes or not. What have you earned is what's booked. You're going to have some close, some will push, some appraisals, whatever the deal is. What have you generated in income over those 13 weeks in Q1? And you know you're capable of doing an appointment a week if you need to. You could do 13 appointments. You can have 8 closings, $5,000. You can put 40, 50, 60 grand in the bank over Q1. You're certainly capable of that. But when you're honest with yourself, you don't need it. So be realistic about what you actually want. Now, maybe this is the quarter you're going to challenge yourself and say, I've never done 50 grand in a quarter. This is my quarter to go pull down 50 grand. Then go do it. Okay? If it's a personal challenge, but don't say I need 25 grand if you really only need 8. So let's be realistic about what you want and be completely selfish, guys, and put earplugs in and just figure out what you want and just go do what's going to make you happy. Now, leverage your support team. Once you say, hey, Mike, this is what I need for the next 13 weeks. I need 3 deals.
Yeah.
And then you better have somebody you can go to at your partner and say, hey, what do you think my path of least resistance to getting 3 deals is? And you know what? There's your business plan for 2020 Q1. Now, right, I'm not super analytical, and I can be. I just choose that I don't like it. Yeah. Right? So we can go back and say, you better talk to X number of people a day and all that stuff. But, that works for some people, but it aggravates most people that I know. So let's just be realistic and saying, how much income do you need? How many deals is that? And what is your lowest hanging fruit? You either know a lot of people or you don't, and that's going to start your path as far as what you're going to do, and be strategic and be tactical and pick a lane, right? How important is picking lanes?
100% important, right? Again, but it's important because you have to know where you're going first, where you want to end up. Then we can pick a lane that's going to get them there. And then how heavy and how fast we drive down that lane depends again on that end goal. So all of those are very, very important. The lane matters though, and you gotta be able to stay in that lane.
And how you maneuver in that lane.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can be that annoying asshole who sits in the fast lane with their blinkers on, cruising down, listening to songs and singing.
Because as an example, you could come to me and say you want to pick using RealSure as your lane, right? Our instant offer. And my response to that is, cool. Well, there's like 7 different ways to use RealSure.
That's right.
So which way do you want to do it? Well, if you only want to do 1 or 2, then there's one way.
Well, the question goes into, what are we trying to accomplish in Q1?
Right, exactly.
And if the answer
that's
is
what matters.
10 grand.
Yeah, then it's different than if you say, I want 50 grand, then I'm going to say, great. Well, then we're going to use RealSure. We're going to go get offers for every single for sale by owner in your area. Then we're going to go get an offer on every single expired. Right, yep. That's now off the market. Then we're also going to take this and we're going to blast it out to your friends and family, and we're going to message it to 10 people a day, and we're going to go, because we have to do that to get to that number. Right?
Or you're going to say, well, I don't really feel comfortable on camera and I'm not going to do a video. But then you're not going to make 50 grand.
Right.
So let's
so it's realistic. But I still think the biggest thing that most people do is they'll do this privately and they'll say, all right, that's 3 deals. Then they're going to come to you or their coach or whoever, and that person will be like, how many deals do you want? 8, because they think that 3 is not enough, and then they're going to get criticism for it. Their opinion does not matter. It does not matter.
That's right.
Right? They may have an opinion on it, but ultimately it does not matter. So you cannot waver from your truth.
And maybe your manager's bonus depends upon you doing 8 deals.
Exactly. So they have different priorities than you
biased,
do.
Right?
Of course. So 100%, the name of this game is being 100% honest with yourself and honest with everyone else around you that's going to help you achieve that goal.
And acknowledge the fact that everybody around you truly doesn't care what you do this quarter. Nope. They might like to see you succeed. They really don't care if you succeed or not. Right? And it sounds harsh to say that, guys, and I'm sure I'll get some fun comments about this one, but they really, truly don't give a crap. Right? And you shouldn't care if they give a crap, because all you should care about is what you've challenged yourself for this next quarter, and then what responsibilities you have and who's relying on you. Right? Now, if you've got people at home and kids and things that you need to provide for, you've got a big ass responsibility. You need to know what that is and make sure that you hit that goal. Right? Because that's your job. Yeah. Right? But you don't need more than that. You need to figure out what you actually want and just get it done. So that's what I wanted to go into this holiday time, where everybody's into their business planning mode. I just want to call BS on all of the modes that are out there right now and just put a big ass smile on your face and be realistic about what's going to make you happy, and then just push everything else aside, guys.
Blocking the outside noise. The outside noise is loud. It's always loud. You gotta be able to silence it. You have to be internally. You have to be able to quiet that noise and realize that nothing else matters, because they ultimately do not have an impact on your success or failure. They just don't.
And we're doing on November 13th, 14th, and 15th something we've never done before, and I'm so stoked for this.
Yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
And we're doing Next Level You, but there's 3 of them. We're doing day 1 is Next Level You, the fundamentals, right? Which is you're not allowed in that room if you're good, right? I'll say it that way, right?
If you're experienced, yeah. If you've done 5 or more deals, you're not allowed in that room.
You can't get in the room because you need things at a different level to get to that next level. So we're going to pack that room full of people that have only closed up to 5 deals this year. And then day 2 is what's the production level on day 2?
That's the intermediate. So that is a 6 to 11 unit transaction producer in a year.
In all year, whatever you close in 2019. If you didn't close that amount, you're not in the room. If you close more than that, you're not in the room, because this is specific to the mindset, tactic, and skill sets necessary at that level in this business. And then the fun one is day 3.
Yeah, and that one's for the top producing agents essentially in the country, in the area, and that is if you're doing at least 1 deal a month, then you're invited to be in the room. If not, then you are not allowed in that room.
And this is a hardcore, it's a 3-hour strategy session of tactics that are just ninja level.
Yes.
Right? Where you don't have time for basics. You have the basics that's getting you up to that next level on that one. So that's what we're doing to make sure that the tools that are relevant, right? Very relevant, because in this industry, there's too many shotgun approaches to trainings that are just irrelevant. And you sit in a class for a day and a little snippet was relevant. That's crap, right? So we're going to make sure that you get what's relevant to you, because why learn things you don't need to? But you don't need to know about the iBuyer programs and how to do FSBOs and expireds and how to do different platforms. If you only need to do 2 deals a quarter and you have a big following and you grew up here, you don't even need to know about them. So why are we going to waste your energy and our energy to try to teach you stuff that's irrelevant to your world? So when you come to your aha moment of what makes you happy this quarter, stop learning crap that doesn't get you there and is irrelevant. Just delete it, guys. Just get one skill set down. That's the low-hanging fruit, lower the bar, easiest way to go get the transactions that are going to fuel the income, that puts a big-ass smile on just your face. Because remember, nobody else's face matters at this moment, because you're in control of your business.
Yep, 100%.
So short, sweet, to the point. That's what I had to say today.
Yeah, that was it.
So if you have questions about this, as always, reach out to us. Hit us up with a comment, shoot us an email, hit us a tag, hit us on Facebook, Instagram, whatever you need. And Rising Tide raises all boats, and we're just doing this to help. So thank you for watching. And hopefully we see you guys January 13th, 14th, 15th. And let us know if you want to attend. A lot of people are going to come from out of town, too, for this.
Yep.
And we'll make sure we have room for you. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
One shot.